Let's talk about money. I know, not my favorite spiritual topic because it's really human, but sometimes we need to talk about this because we need a roof over our head. We need to process what we want to process through. We have hopes and dreams and where we want to go. And sometimes that takes financial abundance to get there. Today, I want to share with you my personal story of how I got to where I am today, because in that story is a technique that is an abundance technique that gets rid of the number, and it works really well. I'll explain it to you today. Financial abundance is a tricky one for spirituality, and only through the eyes of skeptics. And I know this because I used to be one. So if you haven't met me yet, if you haven't gotten to know me yet, I was a complete skeptic up to the age of 32. At 32, my grandmother passed. I was away from her across the country when she passed, and within an hour or so, she showed up in my living room in spirit form and scared me. I'm going to be direct with you. It wasn't exactly like a Hallmark moment. It was more like, what? And then I took a couple deep breaths and I started to explore the possibility that there's something to this. And here I am, fast forward 18, 19 years later, sitting here talking to you about spirituality. That's the beginning of my story. I'm going to jump forward a number of years to talk about my financial story spiritually and how I got from zero to here, where I'm at today, which is comfortable. I can travel where I want to travel to. I can do the things that I want to do today. Wasn't always the case, and I'll give you that story. But mixed in there, I want you to sort of think about financial abundance and how that can come about without the number, right? It's the number that blocks us. So I'm going to talk about a bunch of these things, okay? By the time we're done with this session, I want you leaving with some basics on financial abundance and techniques. I want you to walk away with one of my favorite tools. I just shared this with one of the Sage practitioners, and I'm going to talk about this in the Sage Circle too. The Sage Circle community, if you haven't heard of it yet, it is lovely. It is just incredible. I had somebody recently send me a message saying, I started in the community just looking around, but I finally wanted to post something because I realized this isn't like social media. This is actually like a community. And that's what I've built. It means a lot to me. It's an online spiritual community where it's just full of unconditional love. Tools, practices, other cool people, just like-minded people across the globe who are coming together and making their personal spiritual path a priority in their life. So if that's where you are, you might want to check out the Sage Circle. But for now, let's talk about financial abundance. When I was 43, I got divorced, and I had been married for about 20 years. And this was a yay. This was a yay. The divorce was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And it was a step that I had to take. It took me a while to take it. You don't just, not all the time can you just, walk right on out of something. But once it was known, it was like, okay, this is the direction I have to go. And it shifted me so drastically. Now, mind you, I was open spiritually. So when you open spiritually and you've got that direct connection, you're using your intuition, you're living intuitively, you also become more heightenedly aware of that which is not serving you, that which is pulling you down, causing you more low vibrational emotions than high vibrational emotions. Did you like that? That was my really nice way of saying this was crappy. I don't want to be in it anymore. This hurts. So I need to, remove some of it. So walking on a spiritual path will open you up to very strong invitations. That's as subtle as I can get. Very strong invitations to let go of that which is no longer serving you, blocking you, stopping you from being all of you, being able to live authentically and with joy. This can be true for jobs. This can be true for friends. I hate to say that because we don't want to lose our friends, especially if we have a friend for a very long time. And then we open up spiritually. What happens is one person changes, the other person doesn't, or changes in the direction that means something for them, right? So I'm certainly not here going to say good, bad, good, bad. No, I'm going to say I went this way, and whatever wasn't, going that same way didn't resonate anymore. And especially if something stopped me from going in the direction that brought me joy, that's just not worth holding on to. And this can be jobs. Again, this can be some friends, things like this. You'll hear a lot of people that open up spiritually say, I lost friends. And some people even talk about how it can be lonely. But if you keep listening, and I would really encourage this, keep listening. And if this is you and you've lost friends, or you've parted ways with a partner or a job, keep going forward, because the new friends are coming. The new partner is coming. The new job is coming that aligns with you, that lifts you up, that brings you joy, that encourages you, that supports you, that loves you. So I went through this transition, and one thing, here's where we get to the financial piece. One thing I had to do in order to take this step away, to get divorced and be able to move in my own direction, was I had to leave with nothing. I had a little over, I had like $100, $200. And I kind of joke that I took the coffee maker. That was my exclamation point. I had a business. I had two businesses. I handed one of them over, signed it over to my ex, said, here you go, make a living. You can have it. Walked away, didn't ask for anything. And so my point here is not about the situation. My point is about where I was financially. I was now, day one, having left, day one, sitting with a very low bank account, nowhere to live. And I did have an office. I had an office because, like I said, I had two businesses. One was just a small website design company. It was just I did some websites, and that was bringing in some income, and I was trying to build that up to support myself, but I took a leap before that was profitable. So I wasn't making any money at all. But I had an office. So a friend bought a twin mattress for me, put it in that office. I slept there illegally. I'm so sorry to my landlord if you see this, but that was a really long time ago, so it should be okay at this point. And I got a membership at Planet Fitness. I did have a car to drive, which was a blessing. It was a huge blessing, and I was able to use that car in the process until I could get my own car, and then give that one back to my ex. So it wasn't all bad. That was a good blessing, and I was able to drive down to Planet Fitness to shower. That's how I started. So for me to talk about financial abundance and manifesting, I've been there. I actually experienced it. I have a good friend who was always good at attracting money. She was always good at it. She still is to this day, absolutely carefree. It just flows in and it flows out and it flows in. And I contacted her and said, hey, I'm not in a great place right now. I'm sleeping on a mattress on an office floor and I'm showering at Planet Fitness. Just some coaching. Any coaching you can get. Give me some tips. I'm not in the best place. Give me some tips, right? And she's really good with this. And we talked for a while. Always ask for support. Community helps every situation. And that one conversation with her empowered me. And I said, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. Now, here's where I get to the tool. Here's where I get to the spiritual tool that I used, that I advise a lot of people to use. And this tool came out of my financial abundance development, my learning to trust that the universe is got my back, is looking out for me, learning to trust that I'm going to be okay, learning to trust that the manifesting tools that I was using would actually work. Came up with this tool and it started to work very quickly. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. So the tool is this. If you want a different number coming in every week, every month, every year, as far as money goes. I want you to take a moment to let go of what that number is. I know that you've got one, I've got one. And you know the idea of this number would make me comfortable. Be a big dreamer. Go for it. Please do. I love it so much because these things really are unlimited. But you right now where you're at, you know the number. This is the number that's going to make me comfortable. Acknowledge it, look at it, and then put it to the side. The 3 things that I want you to focus on is I want you to focus on your lifestyle. 3 lifestyle components. The first one, I want you to focus on having a lifestyle where you don't have to set an alarm in the morning. Now, you can change this to fit your lifestyle and what you're really looking for, but in essence, this is a statement of I'm not under anyone else's, rule or orders. I don't have to jump for someone else to make money. So one of your lifestyle things that you're going to focus on is being able to live a life where you don't have to set an alarm in the morning to wake up, to show up for somebody else that's requiring you to show up. You set, and this is just a fancy way of, it's not fancy. This is just a unique way of saying you don't have to show up for anyone that you don't want to show up for as far as work goes. You show up for who you want to show up for. You do what you want to do with work. You do what you want to do with your day. You make the choice of when you want to get up. Someone else does not. So the first lifestyle process, the first lifestyle affirmation is living a life where you don't have to set your alarm in the morning for someone else. You only set it for yourself, if you set it at all. Personally, I try to go as many days as I can without having to set my alarm. The second one, the second lifestyle piece. And again, we're taking the number over here because you're going to automatically go, well, how much money would it take for me to be able to live like, catch yourself, take the number, put it over here. Okay. And then come back here with me. Number 1, you don't set an alarm for anyone else. You just set your morning alarm for you if you want to set one at all. Number 2, you can do X, Y, and Z unlimited or as many times as you want in a year. Now, what is the one thing you enjoy the most, right? If I had to tell you mine, it would be traveling. I love traveling. If somebody said, let's go to so-and-so for a weekend, I'd be like, I don't know where that is. Let's go. When am I going to go? I travel. That's my thing. So my lifestyle affirmation, my second one, is that I travel a minimum of 6 times a year. And stop. That's it. Or more. I can put or more in there if I wanted to. But that's my comfort zone. That's what I like to do. I like to travel about 6 times a year. And that's now a non-negotiable. These are non-negotiables. These 3. We've done 2. We got one more coming up still. These 3 are tools that are non-negotiable. These are lifestyles. This is lifestyle items that are absolutely required. This is your manifesting. Ready for number 3? Here's number 3. Number 3. This is a tough one. That's why I'm pausing a little bit. But we're just going to say it. Here it is. It's a hard one. Number 3 is a lifestyle that you do not have to look at your bank account to make a decision, to purchase or do anything. I'll say that again. Because some people are going to watch this. You might be watching this going, really? Yes. Now, might not be the case today. Remember, mattress, office, Planet Fitness, shower, okay? So it might not be the case. I'm going to tell you how to now apply that from where you are today to where you want to get to. But the third lifestyle piece is that you can do what you want, you can go where you want, you can buy what you want, and you don't have to look at your bank account to make that decision. Okay, I know, that's the big one, but that's okay. It's all right. We got these 3. Now I'm going to go back, talk about how this is going to turn out. I'm right here with you, you and me. The 3 are, in summary, you don't have to set an alarm. You're going to do X thing that you love X amount of times per year, non-negotiable. And you don't have to look at your bank account to buy anything or do anything or make any decisions. You can just do. Now, I advise you look at your bank account like a couple times a week just to make sure, everything's balancing and bills are being paid and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm talking about is you don't have to, when the friend says, hey, let's go to so-and-so for the weekend, I don't look at my bank account. I go, all right, let's go. Wow, could you feel for some of us, could you feel that chest tightening thing that went, well, that's irresponsible, right? That's the programming that was given to us. That's the programming that says, you don't just do that. That's irresponsible. Here's the thing. I would not travel if I financially could not afford it. This is where we have to balance this out. I'm talking a lot about manifesting here, but I'm also a realist. If you follow me at all, you should know that by now, that I am the first in line for spirituality, intuition, tapping in, getting answers, talking to my spirit guide. But I'm also human and very aware of the fact that I am here. I'm in a three-dimensional material world, and 1, 2, and 3 has to happen in order for A, B, and C to happen. I get it. So we are responsible, but what we're talking about now is manifesting tools, abundance affirmations. I am talking to you about a way of thinking, a way of putting your mind frame in order to say, here's the goals. These are the 3 lifestyles. That 3 lifestyle choices, to be specific, not necessarily 3 different lifestyles, but here are the 3 lifestyle choices that are going to get me to my goal. And I promise you they will. They've gotten me to mine. I worked very hard to get here. When I wasn't sleeping on a mattress in an office and I wasn't showering at Planet Fitness, I was on the computer building my business, working hard, putting together content, putting together helpful tools for people. How can I go out there and help? Because that's another big thing too, is that if you're doing something that you love and you're doing something that you genuinely want to help somebody else with, you will be successful faster. Absolutely. So those were other components in this. I do not believe that I came down here in this human existence and I'm just going to sit here and everything is going to magically manifest around me and all of a sudden I can live this lifestyle. No, I make the decision of my 3 non-negotiables. I'm not going to have to look at my bank account. I'm going to travel 6 times a year and I will not set a morning alarm. Won't happen. Not for anyone except for my kids and my grandbaby. Those I will. But you get my point. Then I put the hard work in. I have set those 3 non-negotiables. Those are what I focus on. Here's the pattern of tools. Wherever you are today, go ahead and let yourself think about that number that you do need. That logical number. If I had this, that would put me where I want to be. Bo is talking about these 3 non-negotiables. What number would I have to be bringing in each week, each month, or every year in order to be able to live those 3 lifestyle items? Okay, got the number. Good. Write it down if you want to. Put it in an envelope. Put a heart on the envelope. Set it aside. Setting aside the number after you make the decision of the number is where you can then step into, this is how I live. Every time, and it's not going to happen overnight. I get it. You got to do the hard work. You got to make the decisions, step away from the things that are no longer serving you or that are low vibration for you, that are not bringing you into the direction you want to go into. Sometimes we have to set boundaries, which are painful and difficult. But once we do that, that will free us up to be able to move faster on our spiritual path or in the direction that brings us more bliss. We do have to make those emotional decisions. We have to make financial decisions, and we have to be smart because we're here in the human world. But what you can do throughout all of that is own those 3 lifestyle items. Own them. Be that person. What I would say to myself when I would wake up and get off the twin mattress in that office, I say it like it's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with it. I had a mattress. I had a roof over my head. But I would wake up in the morning and what I would say is, I travel like 6 times a year. Yeah, I'm going to go get breakfast. I'm not going to look at my bank account because I don't need to. Now, I did look at the bank account the night before. So I did know that I had enough in there for breakfast. 2 eggs and toast across the street. It was great. But I tried in any moment I could to live that lifestyle. I travel, and I just say it. I travel 6 times a year. I don't look at my bank account. I don't say this to other people. I would say it to myself. I don't have to look at my bank account. And then I might look at it because, we got to be real. But I don't look at my bank account. When am I getting up tomorrow? I'm not. I don't have to set my alarm. I even went so far as to book like clients and people that I was talking to in business that I was trying to build to provide an income for myself. I would even set those appointments at 1 p.m. or later. I still try to do that. So I don't have to set that alarm, right? And for anybody that wants to come around and be like, well, that's lazy. No, it's not. I get 8 hours. Whenever I go to bed, I get 8 hours. And that's it. I'm free to go to bed when I want to go to bed. And that works for me. There are some people that are like, you know what my perfect lifestyle is? To go to bed at 10 p.m., wake up at 6 a.m. The key to this is not to do it because somebody else is making you do it to make that money. The key to it is to do it because that's how you want it done. You decide your lifestyle. And then the universe will build abundance around you to fit that lifestyle. It will happen faster. It will happen a little easier. You're still going to have the emotional bumps. You're still going to have decisions that can be difficult or hard. You're going to have to still try some things. They might not work, but you try something else. The biggest component here, and this is the takeaway I want to leave you with, the biggest component is to step out of the number and the brand of car or the size of the house or to step out of that and to step into focusing and believing in the lifestyle components that bring you joy. The carefree ones. What are those lifestyle components that are going to just be like, I love my life? So let me do this in a reverse way. If I looked at you and said, you have unlimited money for the rest of your life, never have to worry about it again. What are the lifestyle components? How do you live your life with the most joy? What are the 3 biggest pieces of that? If you can throw in the don't look at your bank account piece, that's really helpful. That's a big manifestor for the universe. But what are a couple of them that are really big and really important and non-negotiables in this blissful joy experience that you now have because you don't have to worry about money? I want you to be thinking about those components on the regular. I want you to be creating affirmations that are in the present tense, that are, if they are happening, I don't have to look at my bank account. I don't have to set my morning alarm if I don't want to. And I do travel 6 times a year. Repeat those every day. Make those part of who you are and how you live. And this is how I do this. And slowly but surely, with your hard work and that belief structure, letting go of the number, letting go of the worry of the bank account, letting go of those types of things as much as you can, again, realist, that path is going to open up to more and more and more abundance. It did for me. I was in that office and again, I did have a small company that I had started, but it was not close to profitable at all. And I worked 10 to 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. I really, busted tail. Granted, I didn't have any small kiddos that I was looking after, didn't even have any pets or anything. So it was just me. You have to adjust this to whatever's happening in your life because some of us have little kids that we also have to put into this equation. Figure out the equation to where you can put the effort in and put the time in, still balance your happiness and the love around you. And I did that, I'm trying to think, that was April May, June, July, August, September. So it was about 5 or 6 months that I was there. I got to know the people at the front desk at Planet Fitness, a high five every now and then. But then I was able to rent a winter rental, which was even more, it was lower income, like I got a place to call my own. And then from there, I got to go where I wanted to go. And then from there, I got to move into the apartment that I wanted to move into. And then from there, I got to travel more. And then it just comes up to today, where the lifestyle components that were my core manifesting pieces, this is important, the lifestyle components that were my core pieces in manifesting, I now live. That is part of my existence. I don't worry about numbers now. I don't worry about them now. I also don't worry about them in a big way either. I don't say, well, I have to have this much or I have to have that much. You know what I have? I have the ability to not set my alarm. I have the ability to travel 6 times a year. And I have the ability to go to the grocery store without having to look at my bank account. And that's what I want. That's what I have. And the universe consistently makes sure that I'm okay. So let's summarize. Abundance is something that will come in time. Your job is to practice the state of mind that is the end goal. So positive statements as if they've already happened. This is standard, manifesting tools of the lifestyle items that are non-negotiables that you want to have in your life. Start them right now. Even if they're not in your life, decide that they are. Start them right now. Stay balanced. We're going to be a realist about this. We're going to make sure everything's taken care of the way it needs to be taken care of, the people in our lives and the money. But keep believing in those lifestyle components, and the universe will start to work in your favor, making sure that the right people show up, the right situations show up, and the right timing happens. And in time, you will build the life that you want. I hope to see you in the circle. Look for information on GCP and on the Sage Circle. In the meantime, this video might be a perfect fit to watch next.